We all know there's a lot of information available online, but some of the most important knowledge comes from books. Hi, I'm Gardener Scott, and I believe that there are some great gardening books that belong in every gardener's library. Join me as I discuss one of the best books, Gaia's Garden. This is Gaia's Garden, a guide to home-scale permaculture by Toby Hemenway. I have the second edition, and I love this book. I use it as a reference source for many of the things that I do in my garden. I use it for planning purposes. I use it to help me with plant selection. I use it just to give me motivation as I build a landscape that is environmentally friendly. Now, this book doesn't have a lot of pretty pictures. It has graphs, it has diagrams, and it has a lot of tables with a lot of information. This isn't an introductory gardening book, though beginning gardeners can benefit from it. This truly is an information source for everything that you should be thinking about in a landscape and garden setting. This is a permaculture book, and I'm not a certified permaculturist. And permaculture is one of those terms that some gardeners don't know at all, and other gardeners, it really turns them off because it's been misused and abused in the gardening community. But the concept is that the garden is an ecosystem with everything working together. There are some books on how to grow vegetables, and there are some books on how to attract insects, and there are books about growing trees, and there are books about planting a garden. Gaia's Garden takes all of those concepts and puts them together so that the garden you create has a purpose from beginning to end. You're attracting those insects, and you're growing those flowers, and you have those trees, and you have the vegetables and the fruits, and everything works together to benefit every other aspect of the garden. Toby Hemenway in Gaia's Garden uses the principles that nature uses to create a healthy plant community. By just looking around you, you can see some of the things that nature does every day and every season to create forests and meadows and all of the landscapes that we like seeing in nature. With a little bit of effort and some of the guidance from Gaia's Garden, you can create that same healthy ecosystem in your own backyard. Now, you don't need to subscribe to the notion of a garden as a backyard ecosystem, and you don't even need to worry about planning an entire landscape where everything works together. Gaia's Garden is packed with information for just about every gardener. The section on soil is one of the best that I've read in any source. If you like to compost, well, this table lists the carbon to nitrogen ratio of just about everything you're going to put into your compost pile. By using some of these numbers, you can expect to get better compost. If you've thought about growing plants for medicinal purposes, here's a list of 20 plants, and it tells you how to grow each one to get the best medicinal benefits. I'd never heard the term garden guild before I read Gaia's Garden years ago, and now I use garden guilds extensively in my landscape. A garden guild mimics a plant community that might be found in nature. The basic idea is you take something like an apple tree and you surround it with medium-sized plants and small plants and ground covers, and they all start working together, with some of the plants benefiting the soil and some of the plants attracting beneficial insects. And what you're left with is a beautiful part of your garden that also supplies some edible fruits. And you can find out how to do all of that in Gaia's garden. In this book, you can learn about growing fruit trees in small spaces by using selective pruning methods like espalier. You can learn about taking advantage of some of the microclimates that you might have in your garden. There's an extensive section that goes on for pages that lists trees and shrubs and flowers and tells all about plants that you could conceivably grow. It tells about the water needs and the sun needs, whether they can grow in shade, and what kind of benefits they can provide you and your garden. You can learn about chickens and rabbits and how they can benefit a garden, and so much more in this book. It's packed with information, and that's why I believe it deserves a place in every gardener's library. If you don't have a garden library, well, consider starting one with this book. And there you have it, one of the best gardening books, Gaia's Garden. If you have any comments or questions or wish to subscribe, you can do all of that below. I'm Gardener Scott. Enjoy gardening.